I hope you can walk because I'm not carrying you.
Saw or shovel?
Welcome back, everyone. Finally, Marvel has dropped the Daredevil Born Again Season 2 trailer. Nice, shiny, crisp HD footage. There are a bunch of Easter eggs. Obviously, the big thing here is that Jessica Jones, the Defenders, are coming back slowly. Jessica Jones is just the first one after the Punisher. If you consider the Punisher a Defender, technically he is one of the Defenders, even though he wasn't in the actual Defenders series. I know there are going to be a ton of questions about him coming back because the Punisher is in Spider-Man Brand New Day, and he has his Punisher special presentation, basically like a small movie that's going to be on Disney+. Based on the way the head of Marvel TV talked about him, Punisher is not supposed to be in Season 2, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some Easter eggs, maybe like a surprise cameo scene to set him up for the Punisher special presentation, and there will be a through line for that through Spider-Man Brand New Day and what's happening in New York City just in general, as well as that setting up Spider-Man Brand New Day. Like that new small Punisher movie will set Punisher up for what happens during Spider-Man Brand New Day. So there will be this through line of what's happening in Daredevil Born Again Season 2 in New York City and what's happening later in the year during Spider-Man Brand New Day, because Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is meant to take place before Brand New Day. This is why during Daredevil Born Again Season 1, there was the Spider-Man name drop, which actually felt like a pretty big deal. They don't do that very often on the Marvel TV shows, so it was actually pretty cool. So imagine while we're watching Daredevil Born Again Season 2 episodes, starting March 24th, also confirming premiere date is March 24th, we'll also be thinking about what Peter Parker Spider-Man is doing in the background, just swinging around being friendly neighborhood Spider-Man before the events of Brand New Day. Because that is basically what he's doing right now. But there is a lot of Defenders to talk about. Just so happy to see Kristen Ritter come back as Jessica Jones. There are reports that they're developing another solo TV project for her too, like Jessica Jones Born Again type of project. Mike Coulter was also just talking about Luke Cage coming back. He said that he has been talking to Marvel. I think the idea is that he's supposed to come back during Season 3 because there were Luke Cage Easter eggs in Episode 1. Literally, when they were making the Spider-Man Easter egg during Season 1, they were also in the middle of making a Luke Cage Easter egg too. So I think it was just a foregone conclusion. He'll come back. It's just a question of when, and we will see what they do with Danny Rand's Iron Fist. It would be weird if they brought them all back, but then didn't eventually do some Heroes for Hire in the future too. That does feel like the future of Marvel TV. Daredevil essentially is the future of Marvel TV and all the Defenders characters coming back and them just building a new type of Marvel TV that looks mysteriously like the old version of Marvel TV and uses a lot of Defenders to actually bring on a lot of other characters too. But there's a lot of footage during this. Also, Bullseye, very big during the season as well too, so we will talk about him. The actual song that they put on the trailer, Love is for Fools, also feels like it's a reference to Matt and Karen basically getting back together. There's a lot of them running around together in the trailer, also them running around with Matt inside his Daredevil costume too. This is probably to assuage a lot of people that were pissed about what they did with her character during Season 1, where she was like barely in the season and then took off and then only came back at the very end of the season. If you're mad about that, you can blame that on the previous regime that was trying to do Daredevil Born Again till Kevin Feige basically soft canceled that and then rebooted the reboot of the show, then brought back a bunch of the Netflix people to do the new version of Daredevil Born Again, which is also why we got the Frankenstein version of Season 1 that felt so tonally different between the first couple of episodes and the last couple of episodes, because they didn't shoot that much new material when the new showrunners came on. But it kind of seems like at the beginning of the trailer here that they're almost living together, like he's in bed while she's putting the record on and they're just getting ready to hang out, they're just having fun together, so they're giving you the vibe that they are basically back together. Also, part of what I think is going on here is that they're laying low because of what Fisk is doing with his anti-vigilante task force, and things in New York City have basically turned slowly into more and more of a police state. I think this is meant to be a wide shot of Hell's Kitchen, and in a different part of the city, we see Bullseye go and get himself a really big milkshake with a cherry on top. He seems like he is really enjoying this. Not totally sure what he's doing at this diner, probably getting ready to meet somebody here. We get another shot of an anti-vigilante task force person. Notice she's wearing the Punisher skull logo. He is definitely not happy about that. There are a couple kids playing, and you see the poster for Fisk in the background too. This is probably all over New York. Posters of Fisk all over New York. More of Matt and Karen dancing with each other. Do not need to zoom and enhance to see that giant hole in the wall right behind them. I'm sure they will explain that early in the season. Then there's another scene of them kissing, but if you look at Matt's neck here, he's actually wearing his Daredevil costume, so it seems like he's about to go out and start beating the crap out of people, saving people, and she's just giving him a kiss to say goodbye.
Never forget, I love New York.
Then there's another scene of Fisk at some sort of official dinner, some sort of political dinner. This is Lily Taylor on the right. I'm not sure who she's playing. It seems like it's going to be somebody relatively important during the season, probably someone in the political sphere. Then they do this weird thing where Daredevil hears something really, really crazy nearby and then probably snaps to attention and goes to help whatever trouble is happening here that he's detecting. This is actually kind of a new way of them depicting Daredevil's radar sense, like him just hearing some crazy tragedy nearby, something really, really big. We get a brief shot of somebody impersonating Wilson Fisk with the mask in the white gloves, in the white suit, obviously Kingpin white suit that we saw him in at the end of season 1. I'm wondering if this has something to do with BB Urick, because she was all about filming herself and filming people around the city to try and bring what he was doing to light, because it seemed like, and they kind of confirmed this during season 1, that she knew or had an idea that Wilson Fisk was behind the death of Ben Urick. So early theory, she's dressing herself up, and the reason why she's wearing white gloves is so that people can't see that it's like a black woman underneath all this white and underneath the mask. But you can let me know who you think this is. Not totally clear what the anti-vigilante task force is doing here with this giant truck and this engagement here, like just basically opening fire on all these people here. Probably has something to do with Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and whatever they're helping during the season, like whatever the big problem of the season is. Then we actually see Matthew Lillard's character. I don't know if he's playing somebody from the comics. I wouldn't be surprised if he is, but they haven't announced who it actually is yet. The only thing that he has said about his character and Marvel has said about his character is that he's another extremely rich person who takes an interest in Wilson Fisk, so it just seems like he's somebody that Wilson Fisk has to deal with in addition to dealing with Daredevil on ground level, like another rich person who actually wants something from him or wants to take something from him. I think the idea is they just introduced him to be a foil for Wilson Fisk because he has seemingly unlimited resources, so they needed another villain that could actually match something like that, in addition to him trying to deal with Daredevil. Then they confirm that Matt Murdock has gone underground, and that's why he's in that apartment with the giant hole in the wall with Karen Page, and they're just basically hiding out so that Wilson Fisk can't arrest him, because he is probably in the middle of trying to arrest him. He's probably been trying to do it since the end of season 1. Mostly because, remember, Wilson Fisk, if it wasn't clear, knows that Matt Murdock is Daredevil. They talked about that at the beginning of Daredevil Born Again season 1. They had called a truce since the end of Daredevil Netflix. Then all of a sudden season 1 happens, boom, truce is over. To make another boxing metaphor, because there is some boxing happening during the trailer here, the gloves have come off. Then I love the way they introduce Karen Page's character here. She comes into this church where Matt Murdock is sitting in the pew here. It seems like something bad has happened to him, like he's kind of down, and she comes in and just says some snarky things to him, basically making fun of him the way that she always did during Daredevil Netflix and the other series, like the Defenders series.
There it is again.
When she says, "I hope you can walk because I'm not carrying you," that's also meant to be a joke about the series itself. Like, I'm not going to carry the entire series in season 2 because I'm way better than you. Basically, her joking about him in context, but also feels like the writers behind the camera also winking at the fans, joking about Daredevil Born Again season 1. Like, yes, we know that season 1 wasn't as good as it could have been. Season 2 will be way better because we have Jessica Jones. But even though it is amazing, she's not going to have to carry season 2 because it's better than season 1. There are a couple shots of Daredevil, this time inside that underground prison that Fisk had everybody locked up in. Notice a lot of the cells are empty too, so it seems like Daredevil is either trying to free a bunch of people or he has freed a bunch of people, and he is wearing his black suit that we saw a version of during season 1 with all his different helmets. Not totally clear what's happening here with these men going into this suburban house with all the guns. Little bit of Kingpin with Daniel Blake. Part of the idea of season 1 and season 2 is it's like the slow perversion of Daniel Blake, like he's slowly being twisted to Wilson Fisk's side, doing all these terrible things when they want you to feel like he's actually a pretty decent person, or he could be a decent person, until Wilson Fisk got his hooks into him. Then if you couldn't tell, there's a bit of a surprise. Daredevil, with the red behind him, I love the red coating, like the color coding across the trailer for his character, is actually grabbing Bullseye's hand with the glove on that we saw in his costume from season 1. So it seems like we will see a little bit of Daredevil and Bullseye working together. Maybe it's like an enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of situation, because obviously Daredevil hates Bullseye. We will see how they invoke Foggy Nelson during season 2. I am still one of the truthers that feels like he's secretly alive out there somewhere. They've talked about this in the past. We will see how they tease that out. There'll probably be some references to Foggy Nelson, maybe some more flashbacks. We will see if there are any other kind of Easter eggs that let us know what's really going on with him in present day. But even though we do see him in the trailer, those scenes are new scenes that they filmed of Eldon Henson as flashbacks. Like in context of the series, it's Matt remembering things or flashbacks to things that happened in the past. Even though there was a funeral for Foggy during season 1, remember, we never saw a body, and there was an arc in the Daredevil comics where he tricked Matt to make him think that he died as part of this thing that Foggy was doing. So we will just check back in on that to see if we find any Easter eggs during season 2 episodes. We get a really cool action scene of Jessica Jones just completely laying waste to all these people in this warehouse here using her super strength. Now the question is, will we see her fly during season 2? They kind of started to get there during the Jessica Jones Netflix series, but they didn't go full fly, like you just see her flying off camera onto camera and make you wonder about it. Based on their dialogue here, it seems like Buck Cashman is making Daniel Blake help him get rid of a body in their trunk here. Saw or shovel, like they have to saw the body up. This is like full Sopranos type of scene here. They're out in the suburbs, putting a body out somewhere to bury it so they can also cut it up. Very apropos because the actor who plays Daniel Blake is Tony Soprano's real-life son.
Someday soon, you're gonna have families of your own. And if you're lucky, you'll remember the little moments.
We get a bunch of boxing scenes of Wilson Fisk. Notice he's wearing white, Kingpin white, as he just beats the hell out of this other dude. So would not be surprised if we actually see Daredevil versus Kingpin boxing type fight. There are a couple scenes that they were also filming in Fogwell's gym during season 2. I don't know if this boxing match is happening in Fogwell's gym or somewhere else. It seems a little bit bigger, so it might be somewhere else. We get a wider shot of his secret underground prison, and the cells are full, but remember, Punisher escaped at the end of season 1, so Punisher is not meant to be here, but we will see who else shows up in these cells. This is probably before the scene of Daredevil coming in his costume and beating the hell out of these guards and trying to let these people out. Not totally clear what's happening at this protest here, but it just seems like most of the citizens have started to band together in their bigger protests against what Fisk is doing with his anti-vigilante task force. Then if you couldn't tell, Matt and Karen here are actually training. It seems like he's helping train her a little bit. Probably means that she might get a couple action scenes. I wouldn't be surprised because she's supposed to be a much, much bigger part of season 2. She'll be in way more episodes than she was in during season 1. My assumption is that Daredevil gets into this fight in Josie's with the anti-vigilante task force because Fisk knows to send them looking for him at this bar. Like, he knows that this is his hangout. Then they end the trailer. I love what they do with the logo here, where it slowly dips to black with all the letters to show you him changing to the black suit for season 2. He will probably eventually go back to the red suit at some point, but for the most part, it just seems like he wears the black suit for most of season 2. But I know there's going to be a ton of questions about the Punisher, about what's happening with Spider-Man Brand New Day, so everybody just post all your Defenders, questions, everything in the comments below. Like I said, Luke Cage may be Easter egg at the end of the season or Easter egg during the season, but I don't think he's actually physically coming back on camera in a big way until season 3. But reportedly, Elektra is also coming back from the Netflix series for season 3, and the Hand, because we might actually see the Hand show up during Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now the really big question is, are they going to release Daredevil Season 3 in between Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, and will be a Battle World type of show? My assumption is no, they probably won't worry about it that much. Even if they are able to release Season 3 next year in between Avengers movies, like before Secret Wars, what they would probably do is they would still set it before the events of Avengers Doomsday and just say that we're releasing it after Doomsday, but technically it takes place before Doomsday happens. Everybody post all your reactions in the comments below. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on during this, so if you spot any Easter eggs or references that I didn't talk about in the video, just write them below in the comments. And the other big reminder too is that Wonder Man episodes are literally dropping tonight. The entire series is dropping tonight. What I'm probably going to do is post my Fallout Episode 7 video first, then I'll do a Wonder Man video for like the ending, and I'll do a longer breakdown video, kind of like I did for Stranger Things, where they dropped the entire season, so I just did like one big video for the entire season. For the most part, I believe Charlie Cox when he says he's not in Avengers Doomsday. I don't think he's trying to pull an Andrew Garfield situation, but we will see there's some Easter eggs for him in the background, just because so much is going to be happening during that movie and during Avengers Secret Wars. Please be in Secret Wars, though. I do want to see him show up as a cameo. But there's a bunch of stuff coming up. The other real big DC TV thing happening later this year too is also the Lanterns TV series. Also really excited for that. I've already done a trailer video for that, so I'll link it at the end of this. There are also a bunch of other trailers that I just did videos for, like Invincible Season 4 and Masters of the Universe, a new Supergirl Lobo trailer with Jason Momoa's character coming back. Everybody click here for all of those trailers. It was a really big week last week. And click here for my video on the leaked Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.